What is up, guys? Welcome back once again. I don't know why that's a thing, right? I know we've just started and I'm already causing distractions, right? But I don't know why the hands come up. They just come up, right? We're here now. You guys look great. Alright, welcome guys. We're here with another episode of Digimon World Next Order, and I am sorry this episode is coming to you guys a bit later. If you're watching this in the future and this is in a playlist or whatever, then this won't bother you. But for those of you guys who are waiting on these episodes to come out daily, I'm sorry that this one was a little bit slow. I did actually have a super busy weekend, and therefore we are here now in this present point, and we're going to have some fun as always. But little disclaimer there, sorry this took a while to come out. Have been busy, but regardless, we're here now. There's a couple of things we need to talk about, folks. First of all, I've got something big and exciting to show you. So, regarding the Bonanza rematch, obviously, because it took us so long to beat him the first time around, and what a fucking painstakingly struggle that fight was, we obviously needed to make our guys a little bit stronger. So, I held the 3.5-hour live stream on the channel, which some of you guys may have seen, but the majority of you won't have seen it. So I've got to reveal something to you guys. We're going to have a look at Clive and Steve, who have been very busy in the live stream. So we've done some grinding off screen. It was nothing exciting, there was nothing super important that you missed, but I decided that we needed to get our megas up to probably ultra version in order to combat the Bonanza rematch. So I'm going to show you guys Clive and Steve right now, who are now in ultra forms. Alright, so let's get into it straight away. So here we are at the partner screen. I'm going to go into the partners individually and then show you guys. So Clive is now max stats in terms of his stamina, strength, wisdom and speed. It's only his HP and his MP that is not at max, but for the most part Clive is an absolute killer machine, the strongest Digimon we've ever had. Well, I've ever had in my life, and definitely in this Let's Play. And then if we pop over to Steve, he is also strength, stamina, wisdom. His speed is actually not maxed out, what I've just realised, but for the most part, he's pretty much up there. And again, his HP and MP is a little bit less than full, but for the most part, these guys are incredibly strong. We did a lot of district dimension runs in order to get them to this point, and I just felt, you know, there was no point in making episodes of that because, it took us 3.5 hours. The VOD is up on the channel if you want to go and find it. I'll maybe even, I'll tell you what, I'll add a link to below. If you guys are really inclined on checking that VOD out, you can go ahead and watch it. The audio on it is a bit louder than normal, and I can't do anything about it at this point in time, so it's up to you guys. But regardless, the option is down in the description if you want to go and check that out. But we got our fishing banks up to level 5, and obviously our Digivolution Dojo, based on everything we've just talked about, we also had to crank that up to level 3 as well. So that's some of the requirement grinding stuff that we did. And so now we're in this position here where Clive and Steve are ages 21 and 21. They're going to last until they're about maybe 27, 28 if we're lucky. And for the most part, we are ready to fight against Bonanza. Now, our only problem right now at this point, guys, is it hasn't been the allocated time that we required in order to fight against Bonanza, right? So we beat him in our last episode, but then there has to be a passing of, like, I think it's, I read online that it's 10 days, but it could be shorter than that. It might just be a week or whatever. So what we're going to have to do is burn a bit of time. When we were doing the live stream, we obviously done a bunch of grinding with these guys, which passed a bunch of in-game days. So there's already been a few days past, so you guys won't have to sit through the whole thing. But I thought, you know, we've got some time to kill, so why don't we get round to doing our fishing stuff first and get some of these kind of mini quests out of the way, because now, as you can see, our fishing banks are looking glorious in their final form. And there's a couple of ins and out things that we need to do here in this particular part of the map. So I thought what we could do is train these guys up a little bit in between. We'll do our fishing challenges, get that shit out of the way, because I've said a million times, and I'm not even fucking shitting you, like a million times I said we were going to get round to doing this, and I've not got round to do it, so we're going to do it right. We're going to do it right now. And we'll get round to Bonanza when we get the Digimail telling us that the rematch is pretty much ready. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to cram, in fact we've actually got plenty of space in our backpack, so what I'm going to do is take out all the fish that we're going to need that we already have in the bank, because some of these we have already caught throughout the series and we've been keeping the fish up until this point. So I'm not going to put a massive emphasis on this kind of shit, but for the most part, I'm just checking what we actually need. We will have to catch some fish, and we'll have to go out and get some from, probably, I don't know if we'll have to get it from around the world and stuff. I think we might have to, but for the most part we should be alright. I'm going to talk you through all the quest lines and all that jazz in a minute. That's the rundown. We're not going to do an intro for this episode, by the way, guys. I just thought we've done it so much at this point, you're probably sick of it at this point, but regardless of that, we're just going to dive straight into it. So sit back, relax, folks, and we're going to get started. So what we need to do is, there's a couple of things we need to do in the fishing bank. We need to do the Vicmon quest, we have to do some Gomamon activities, and then we also have to do Mega Seedramon, and for the most part that is us, right? So there's not actually that much. We've actually done one of the 3 Gomamon things already, so for the most part what I'm going to do is take out some of these fish that we're going to need. So Black Digitrout we will need, but we can't really use at this point, so I'm going to take the Arowanas, And then on top of that, I'm going to take the Digitrouts if we have any of these. We have 10 of these, which is actually pretty much perfect. We actually, yeah, we're going to have to fish a lot for the Digi-Arowanas, but the Digitrout, we're going to be alright. And then for the most part, we also need Digi-Snakeheads and Digi-Tuna. Now, we have 3 of the Snakeheads, but we don't have any Digi-Tuna, I don't think. I thought we got one earlier on in the series for some reason, but maybe I'm just gone mad. Maybe I cooked it in a pot or something. Who knows? I probably did something ridiculous like that. But regardless, we should be able to do get a couple of these things out the way by kind of using the resources that we've gathered through the series. Because, you know, I think we're going to be doing a bit of fishing here anyway. And so for the most part, I don't want to... I don't want to have to waste extra time if we have some stuff. So, for example, right, if I talk to Gomamon right now, we should be able to just insta-cash in on some of the things right now. So, for example, 10 Digitrouts, we just took a chunk of those out the bank. I think we picked up 11. So I think we can probably, like, hand those in right now. See, you brought 10 Digitrouts. All right, here's your frog lure. So, boom. We have 2 lures now. We've been given the Snakehead. We've been given the snake lure. Alright, I'm doing a lot of note checking, guys, because the fishing thing, it's been a while, right? But for the most part, we've already got the snake lure, we've now got the frog lure, and now we only have to get the crayfish one from Gomamon, which is insane, because we have 2 Digi-Arowanas already, I think. I know I just took these out the bank, so I apologise, folks, but 4, so we've got a lot more, we got double what I thought, right? But regardless, what we're going to do first is we're going to talk to Vicmon here, Big Vicky, and we're basically going to start off our little quest line with this guy, because as before, we have black trout in the bank, but Vicmon wants you to catch them for him directly from this area alone, and you can't leave basically until you catch it. It sounds a bit sadistic, but for the most part, it's going to be hopefully really straightforward. Now, where we're basically fishing for those black trouts, we can also fish for our Arowana. So I'm going to use bank 4, and the reason I'm going to do that is because in the past, when I have been... You know, when I recorded the fishing video that I made a long time ago, the guide for this game, I actually had in my notes for that there was actually Digi-Arowanas in bank 4, and I think we can also catch Digi-Black Trout from here as well. So we're just going to go with the flow. It's going to take us a while, but we're just going to push through it and see how it goes. I don't know which lure is optimal for us, but we're just going to basically grind this out for as long as need be. Hopefully it doesn't take us too long. What I might actually do is, before we get right into the thick of things, I might actually just check our tamer skills really quickly and see what we've actually got in terms of the fishing department. So we've got 1 upgrade so far, increases fishing hit rate, chance of being able to fish multiple times also rises. We've got tons of points here, guys, and I don't think we're going to need it for anything else at this stage in the game. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick this one up right now. Could pick up some more here, but honestly, I don't give a fuck about any of these points. We're going to do some fishing. Hopefully we get around to our boat Boutmon nonsense after the fact. But yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I actually quite like the fishing in this game. Some of you guys were talking about it inside the live stream. You're talking about how obviously it's a lot different to the fishing game that was in Digimon World 1. The game series has come quite a long way since then, and I feel like this particular fishing experience in Next Order, there's 2 black trouts, which is great because we only need 1 more of those. I don't know why we got a little victory fanfare though. That's quite unusual. The fishing in this game is a lot more chillaxed, if you like, but it's also a lot less skill based. So you can, once you get up some of your upgrades and you get the better rods, you can actually fish a lot. You can pick up a lot of stuff really quickly from these banks. Whereas I mean, if anybody went for the catch 100 fish in DW1, holy moly! I think that was, when I was younger, that was the first medal, maybe one of the only medals I ever got in that game, because I just played so much. And then, you know, over the course of like an 8-year life save, you know, I'd be trying to do all the regular stuff, like trying to recruit Tyrannomon or whatever, and it would be like 6 years past, and I would just naturally go fishing quite a lot. So, and I also got kind of hyped when I was playing through DW1 as well, because I didn't realise for the longest of time that with the right rod and the right bait and the fish that are towards the bottom end of the area that you can fish in that game, you can actually drag the fish all the way up the beach towards your character. Towards manual, I guess, if you want to go that far, which was unusual, and I didn't know you could do that. It was a trick I saw on a YouTube video once, and I was gobsmacked when I saw someone doing it. I was like, holy shit, you can do that. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then basically there's little tricks you can do in the old game that I thought were kind of cool and I didn't know about when I was younger. But for the most part, I think we're pretty grateful in terms of this game and sort of like some of the upgrades that they allow you to have, because it does basically make a lot of your fishing stuff go a lot faster. So the good news is we should be able to cash in with Vicmon here, I think. Here we go, please take this. Boom, we got a good fishing rod. You're more likely to catch a fish or even multiple fish with this rod. It's my favourite. Please look after it. So just like that, we tick off one of our objectives. Really, really easy, I know, but on the downside, guys, we haven't actually caught any Digi Arowanas yet. Now, I'm thinking it's maybe something to do with the lures that we've been using. So I guess we could go ahead and try and mix things up a little bit. And then what we'll do is when we need to catch the special fish for Jijimon, we'll actually be going out into the world to do all that jazz. But for the most part, we're off to a really good start. Hopefully, with the new amazing rod that Vicmon's given us, then we should be able to catch fish a little bit quicker. Although in saying that, Bank 4 is not doing too well right now at this point in time. Kind of slow, but it should be alright. I'm trying to... That's a Digi Pararusu. I got so excited there. I don't know if a Digi Arowana. I wonder if we can maybe use our own resources to our advantage here. If I go down to the ones we have, a sparkly fish that prefers warm water. It doesn't tell me how big it is, but it looks like a pretty sizable fish. So the reason I'm basically talking through this is because it would depend on what lure we use. I think that the frog lure is for big fish, snake lure is for small fish, and the feather lure is just like an improvement on the normal lure. So I guess we just we'll use a balance and see how it goes. If for example we start using the frog lure and then we catch like 3-4 in a row, then obviously we'll take that as like an example. There's two random Digitrout. So for the most part, I don't know how long this is going to take us, guys, but I'm happy to chill, chit chat with you guys, and hopefully we can get a bit of luck. There's 2 right there, boom. So we're actually up to 6 already. That was fast. We seem to be with our upgrade comboed with the rod that we've just picked up with from our buddy in the back there. We seem to be catching fish like in 2s quite a lot, which up until this point in the series we've never actually been able to do. So our upgrades plus our new rod is actually paying us dividends at this point already, which feels really good. Just constant 2 fish. I don't know if it's our new banks as well. We could use the bank 5, but from my experience, the reason I'm not using that one, because you might think, well, Jack, bank 5, that's obviously the biggest fishing one, the biggest bank available, and it's the most upgraded, so surely all the best fish are in there. Yes, but what I'm thinking is there's also, I think bank 5 actually houses a lot of the fish that exist in the game. I mean, just looking at the kind of the visuals of the bank, like this gold one on our left, it's huge compared to the other ones. I think it's because there's lots and lots of fish, and obviously we're only here for the Digi Arowana, so if we can kind of cut down the types that are available to us in this particular pool, then we'll hopefully get to our objectives a little bit faster. That being said, we're going to pick up a lot of stray shit here and there that we're not really in dire need of. It's kind of beneficial to pick up a lot of extra fish at this point, because we could just straight up sell it to the bank. So one of the reasons why I think fishing in this game is kind of half-ass broken. It's not broken enough that in our series in particular, you know, we were sweating it out in the fishing banks like every 5th episode trying to raise funds. But you can see that with just a couple of upgrades, how fast you can actually kind of pick up fish. And some of these more expensive ones, the rarer ones, are actually, they go for a lot of money. Alright. The rarer fish like the Digi Snakeheads, Digi Tuna, they sell down in the city for like a ridiculous amount of money. So if you can just sit here and grind it out for a long time, then there's no danger here, there's no threat. So if you were so inclined, what you could do is you could come here with your baby Digimon, and you could basically you could fish here if you're scared about going into the world and you're looking for something to do, you don't want to train up in the gym to pass time. Actually, fishing inside the banks in the city is a good way to like pass time and also just make money. So what we're doing here, guys, is the reason I've cut off our fishing game is because we need to feed our digis. When you're fishing in this game, it passes time. It doesn't freeze the game like in the first game. So what we're gonna do is you come down here and we're gonna eat this nice mushroom pasta, which, you know, I'm not a big fan of mushrooms myself, but in this case it's gonna give us 1000 MP and it's gonna also extend the life of Clive and Steve here. So we're just gonna pan a couple of these down our digis. Spend a bunch of cash, in all honesty, a bit more than I would have liked, but regardless, we're almost at the point where we have completed all of our objectives in this game, and so the extra money that we have sitting around and that we spend on these expensive dishes, it's not something we're going to lose sleep about. So plus we're about to make a truckload of digibits back, you know, when I sell all this extra garble fish that we don't actually want. So for the most part, that is that. I wanted to try and raise the HP of our Digimon a little bit more than our MP. I kind of want to prioritise that, but there's also another discussion to be had, and the reason I've picked the mushroom dish down with Seraphimon is because it's all about this extra life to our Digis. Now, as I said, I'm pretty sure our guys are going to live way longer than we need them to, but they do actually start to get older quite fast. So the jump to Ultra doesn't actually give you a massive expansion on your Digimon's life. I'm pretty sure in Mega Mode these guys would have got to like ages 23, 24. If we start feeding them these special dishes, they'd probably live a little bit longer. But even so, I don't think that these guys are going to live much past the age of 26. So right now in this point in time, we're fine because we have tons and tons of time, because they're only age 21, right? We talked about that a minute ago. But once we pass a couple of in-game days in order to get to Bolt Boutmon, they're going to start to get closer and closer to that fading away stage. And we've worked so hard to get them to this point in time, it would be an absolute nightmare if they were to pass away before we get to do the rematch, because there is absolutely no way in fucking hell that I want to raise up 2 baby Digimon from scratch. Even if they would be extremely strong, even if it would be really nice to see a new set of Digis in the series, because we're only going to be fighting Bolt Boutmon at this point and probably not too much else, I'm not going to go to all that hassle because it takes hours. It honestly takes hours to grind up. You can spend a lot of money, raise the stats inside the restaurant, like what we just did with Seraphimon, right? But that takes money. If in order to generate your money you need to run a lot of the dimension paths, it's just not worth our time. So we're going to just do this. We're going to keep it tidy, and for the most part we're going to be fine. I could start using the frog lure. We give this a bash. The feather one that we were using was pretty effective, but we're not seeing amazing results. So let's change it up a little bit. There's a Digisamon. Wow. All we're looking for is to just get one hit with the frog lure, and if we get one hit on the arowanas with this bad boy, then we can just perma stick with this one, because for the most part it should be a little bit better, because the frog lure, like I said, it's going to not catch us any of the garbage stuff like the Digiloaches and all that nonsense. We should be able to completely avoid all that crap. Although in saying that, I'm using the frog lure right now and we just caught a Digifry, so just when I thought I knew what I was talking about. Alright, I guess that the specific lures that you use doesn't necessarily axe off the other Digimon that you can get. I think it just probably reduces the chances. So if we fished like 5 times in a row there with the frog lure, we've picked up Digisalmon, Digisalmon, Digiblacktrout, Digisalmon, and then we got the Digithing, the Digifries, which are going to pop up from time to time. I just don't fucking know anymore. It doesn't look like we're getting too many arowanas. It is a rare fish and it is going to be quite tricky to get. So I'm going to keep swapping it about. Hopefully we can get a bit lucky here. We just use the snake lure and I don't even know if there's any fucking logic whatsoever to these lures, but I'm pretty sure our theories are pretty much on track. Everything I've just said about your statistical chances and whatever, I think that they do actually affect things. So either that or Gomamon's just riding us up the fucking garden path like a fucking absolute bitch. I don't know. I don't know, guys, but if we don't catch any Digi Arowanas with the snake lure that we're using right now, we probably will just go back to the feather lure, because so far it's been our most effective, despite the fact that also was kind of shit. There's something else I was going to say. I wanted to look forward to getting our museum up to level 3 as well, folks. That's something that we talked about briefly in the live stream, because I can't remember if we talked about it in our last episode, but Rosemon Burst Mode actually appears as like a post-game boss in this particular game as well. She actually spawns in the Rose Palace, but not before you've got your museum to level 3, because you need to actually talk to Rosemon, who chills in the museum, in order to proc Burst Mode to spawn. There's another 2 Arowanas, that's good. I like the pace. I think we only need to catch 2 more, unless I've missed one of these opportunity or missed one of these catching sessions. I think for the most part we should have 8, right? I'll just double check that really quickly in case I make a fool of myself here. Let's see, Digiarowana 10, we actually have all we need, so I'm glad I checked that, otherwise you guys would have been shouting at the screen, Jack, you absolute fucking idiot. Right, here we go. Gomamon, what's up, dude? We're going to hand this over, and we should get our last one, which is the crayfish lure, and then right here he's going to tell us, if I just move my webcam up a little bit here. The crayfish lure is good for medium to big size game, good for balanced angling, according to Gomamon. So we're pretty chuffed with that. For the most part, that has us done all of Gomamon's tasks, I think. He says, whoa, I can't believe you've gotten all the lures, there ain't nothing more I can do for you. So, with that in mind, guys, that was pretty successful. That didn't take us nearly as long as I thought it was going to take. So, for the most part, what we're going to do is just punch me down in the bottom corner, which I'm immediately going to move in a minute when we talk to Mega Jijimon, but we're kicking through these pretty well, and I like that. I like not having to do too many time skips. We need to get him 2 Digituna. If you do that, you'll be able to fish for Digituna and fish in hole 4. Now, and then we also need 2 Digi Snakeheads, and if we do that, we'll be able to fish for Digi Snakeheads and fish in hole 5. apparently we brought them. Was that the Digi-Snakeheads, I think? This is good. Now, alright, so we don't even have to do the Digi-Snakeheads, guys, but I might even show you where to pick those up, just on the off chance that you're looking to grab them at some point. So, the only thing we need to get left is the Digituna. We don't have any of those, so we will have to still go on a fishing adventure regardless. It's a bit of a bummer that I don't have to get the Snakeheads right now at this point in time, but I can, as I say, I can still show you guys that just on the off chance anyway. So, first and foremost, let's get our main objectives and then go back for the rest of the fish afterwards. So we're going to nip along to Mudcape, just the regular version of Mudcape, and we're going to catch ourselves some tunas. Now this fish is pretty rare. I don't think it's as rare as the Digi-Snakehead, so it shouldn't take us too long. But yeah, if we're here for a little while, don't be surprised. But we'll try and make it as snappy as can be. And then what I'll do is, as soon as we get the 2 Digituna that we need, I'll port myself across to the other position that you can get the snakeheads, and I'll quickly show you that shit as well, just for the shits and giggles. As I said, we're trying to burn time regardless, guys. So in terms of, you know, trying to progress in-game time, we're just naturally trying to do that anyway. So there's a lot of places you can actually fish for Digituna in this game. But the place I'm going to do is this one here. Now, some of you guys might be shouting, Jack, if you go along to the other spot across from Marine Angemon and whatnot, there's actually good spots there as well. But for the most part, I know for a fact I can get Digituna here. I haven't verified the other ones, so we're just going to go ahead and use our frog lure. Now, Digituna, I'm pretty sure is a pretty small fish, I believe. I mean, tunas, you can't imagine what tuna's like anyway, right? But, and you might be thinking, well, then why are you using the frog lure, Jack? I think that in the video when I made this guide, I actually caught the Digituna in a couple of goes with this frog lure here. So again, I just know for a fact that this works. I don't know if it's the most effective way of doing things. It probably isn't, but for the most part, if it works and we just need to do this like 20 times, we're going to do it 20 times and we're hopefully going to pick up. So if we can do it in a shorter time than that, obviously that would be grand. But I think that now that we've kind of moved on from onto the fishing stuff and we can kind of chit chat again, the reason I wanted to obviously grind up these ultras was to make the Boltmon fight a little bit easier. We've talked about that already, right? But I just thought that based on how difficult the last fight was, the first initial fight, I don't want to go through that pain and misery again. It was kind of fun in a way, it was kind of entertaining, and I think that there was probably a lot of like hype value to it, but for the most part it kind of just turned into a bit of a grind fest, you know, and I don't really want a grind fest for you guys or for us. If it was getting close to the if it was getting close to the wire and, you know, we were like struggling for recoveries and we were just beating them with like a bunch of skills and like, you know, like gameplay mechanics and like player based interactions, then fair enough, it would be kind of intense and exciting. But you know what Next Order's like at this point. If you watched every episode of the series so far, you know that there's not too much skill in terms of the combat. You're basically just cashing in, having enough recoveries when you go into the hard fights, knowing the hard fights where they are, knowing how to train your guys to make sure that they're somewhat strong enough, and then it's just a case of having enough money to throw your recoveries. Now, there is a bit of skill in terms of managing your resources, managing where you get your funds, how you spend your time, getting to the level that you need to be in order to even be considered in the fight, but there we go right there, guys. Perfect. 2 Digituna. Absolutely ideal. So there you go. That didn't take us too long at all, and I think that if we were to do another like 20 fishing like goes here with that particular lure, I think we would get some more Digituna. So for the most part, let us just autopilot back to the city. Before we speak to Jijimon, I'm going to go ahead and run very, very quickly to Bonnie Resort, and we're going to catch some Digi-Snakeheads just for the absolute banner. Again, some of you guys won't be thrilled about that, but you know what? We're here at this point. We're just going to fucking do it, alright? So here we go. This is one of my least it's kind of cool in a way because it gives you another incentive to come into Bonnie Resort like post game. And honestly, other than the Boltmon quest that we did earlier, there's not a lot of post game stuff inside Bonnie Resort. So to be able to come back here and fish in this particular spot is pretty hype. So I don't know. The pathway down to the bottom of this hill is kind of ass, but the fact that we're only doing like a one-way journey, this is kind of annoying that the guys need fed here, but I think we'll just use this opportunity to just fucking smash them with a bunch of well-done meats. Honestly, I haven't really been paying too much attention about their diet, hence the reason why I think both the guys are actually at some sort of beast level. You know, I mean, 392 grams. I know they're big dudes, right? I mean, Clive alone has, in fact, they both have a lot of armor. Steve's currently carrying around a big-ass sword. That can weigh a lot, like, that can be pretty light, you know, but regardless, haven't really been paying too much attention as to what these guys have eaten, but I should have, because it would have allowed us to get to max stats a lot sooner. So what I'm going to do here, folks, is just for the sake of argument's sake, we're going to dab another frog lure straight into the lake here, and we're going to try and catch ourselves some snakeheads. Now, I think, as I said earlier, I think that this fish sells for a little bit less than the tuna does, but I think that the snakeheads are a little bit more tricky to come by. Now, could be wrong about that. We'll find out in a minute how long it takes us, but the tuna, as you saw, with only 2 upgrades in the fishing tree and a good rod from Digimon, we were able to catch tuna pretty rapidly. I mean, right now we're getting dicked on by this spot, but hopefully with a bit more luck, we'll be able to catch some snakeheads and be on our way, because, as I said, there's not really much. There's 3 predecessors, so that's the first time I've seen us catch 3 fish, I think. Might have happened earlier, but I've been rambling so much shit at this point. Who knows if I missed that jazz, but for the most part, yeah, that's pretty much everything, guys. I don't know if there's a Digikruken. I don't know if we're going to actually fight against Rosemon. If we get our museum upgraded to level 3, which, you know, we absolutely should, then we can maybe consider it. But the thing that's holding us back from just straight up putting on the museum level 3 upgrade right now is actually emeralds, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
On top of it, and when we're talking about builders upgrades, I also wanted to upgrade our town square inside the game, because that's something I've never done before in my life. You can basically chuck a bunch of resources at the builder and upgrade your like little area. And I think you guys can correct me on this, because as I said, never done it, but from what I've read about it, I think you can actually upgrade your square to kind of fit the seasons IRL. I don't know how that would work though, because the game would need to constantly patch. I don't fully understand, but I think that, like, based on when you upgrade the square, you actually add like a bunch of decorations and all this mad jazz. It would be something that I would like to see with my own eyes, because again, I've never done it before. It's so expensive to upgrade the square. You need like a ton of loads of random different resources, like holy water, for example, is one of them. I would love to catch this before we travel, before like we put these guys to sleep, but I don't know if we're gonna get that lucky. So yeah, I don't know. I would like to upgrade the square as well, but there's so much shit you need for it. I'll maybe stop in at the builder later and show you guys. And I got caught off balance there, because it looked like our guy threw his rod away once he finished that fishing attempt. But can we just catch a snakehead, please? Digigods. Alright, I'm praying to you right now. Hopefully we can just grab this, skedaddle back to Jijimon's house, have a little cat nap, you know?
Yes.
Alright, I don't know if that's going to work. We actually have another 30 seconds to try it, but honestly, why dick around here? What's going to happen though is, I've just thought about something. We're actually going to try and catch this with the last 27 seconds or so that we have, because what's going to happen is if I put these guys to sleep in the tent, they're going to wake up in the morning and they're going to be so goddamn pissy, you won't believe it, right? And I don't have a lot of food that's going to make them unpissy. So if they stand behind me the whole time when I'm trying to talk to you guys and catch these fish, and they don't behave themselves, it's going to get really annoying really quickly. So if I could just, you know, if you want to throw me a bone here. No? 55 seconds. Alright, we're kind of a bit fine. Let's just hit the old camping mat. It's alright. Kind of makes it more of an adventure when you have to sleep outdoors and get all this jazz, but let's just punch this in really quick. As I said, they're probably going to be a little bit noisy in the morning. For some reason, Clive and Steve are the most moody bastards I have ever seen. I think it comes with a power level or whatever. They just seem to do a lot of shit talking here. And saying that, today, for whatever reason, they're actually not too grumpy, which is a plus point. Clive's looking extra annoyed, but do we have any apples here? Do we have any happy apples, please? Cheerful apple, we'll give that to Clive. Oh, for fuck's sake, dude. I don't even know at this point. Let's just cram some more, do you guys like that? Oh, nice, nice. Alright, well done, mate. There you go, perfect. Alright, let's catch this goddamn fish and be on our way, because, as I said, I don't want this to go on for too long. I'm glancing at my notes nervously thinking, fuck, maybe it was a crayfish lure I've meant to have, but I'm absolutely adamant that you can catch this with a goddamn frogland, so we're committed at this point, folks. We're hard committed, and we're gonna get a goddamn snakehead, whether it fucking kills us. Alright, our 2 Digimon might pass away on the spot, but if that happens, that's what needs to happen. The fishing goals are all that matters at this point. Bolt Boutmon can come afterwards. But yeah, no, we're gonna fucking the more the game's like cucking us right now, where it's like, nah, you're not getting a snakehead, guys. YouTube crew, Jack, the Clive, Steve, you aren't getting a snakehead. The more committed I am to be like, no, we will get one, alright. Trust me, guys. Although in saying that, you can see as like, based on how many times we've cast out this goddamn rod and picked up fish, how low the hit rate is. So if you're sitting here sweating for ages and you really need to, you know, if you need to pick up these Digi Snakeheads, if you haven't caught them anywhere else in the game, I don't even know where we got ours from. I think and this is a guess. I think when we were actually fighting against Taomon, you know when we were training inside Mod Cape in one of the montages, I think I trained against the Taomon that's Taomon Silver and the Black Agumon. Is it Black Agumon? I think that particular Digimon drops Digi Snakeheads sometimes as its like rare drop, as like an item drop. Could be wrong on that, but I'm not sure. I think you can actually get them from her. So if you come here and you're having as much luck as we have and you're not getting the snakeheads that we need, then don't worry about it too much, okay? Because there are other places in the game. I just thought this would be the most consistent, but based on our luck so far, it is obviously not the most consistent. But it's fine. I kind of enjoy it this way. It kind of makes it like a full length. It makes it like a worthwhile episode. I'm sorry that you guys are coming and having to sit through it all, and honestly, if you want to skip ahead, then obviously you guys can do whatever you want. But I'm going to try and keep this here in real time to try and get it in one sitting, because all the other fishing stuff that we did with Gomamon, we skipped out on a lot of stuff, and we also got lucky with a lot of things. Like when we were doing Vikemon, I thought that was going to take us ages to catch the 3 black tribe, but we caught them almost immediately because of all of our upgrades and stuff. So sorry, my nose is getting a bit weird here, guys. So off my I can hear myself talking. It's going up and down the octaves, but regardless. I actually hoovered my room early and I felt like $1 million after it. Do you guys ever do that? It was kind of part of my, in all honesty, it was a bit of my procrastination in terms of recording this particular session, because sometimes recently I've woken up in the morning and I'm just completely, it's weird. It's like a congestion thing. It's like hard to breathe and stuff. And I think it's to do with the dust in my room. I've been to the doctors about it and just said, listen, I don't know why this is happening, but you got any suggestions? And I was researching it online as well, and I got some like medicine. Digicatfish. That's not what we need, but there you go. Digicatfish is also available here. We got 5 of the bastards. Let's have a look at this in the middle of my doctor's story, because I mean, who gives a shit about it? Digicatfish, large fish, excellent at detecting danger. Well, we just got 5 of the bastards, so I don't know how good they are at detecting that much danger. I don't. Look at all the fish we've got at this point. 71 Digicarps. Still missing that infamous Digisnakehead though, so we're gonna keep going. But yeah, for the most part, I made a huge effort to basically clean out and hoover as much of my room as possible. I did this a few weeks ago. I might have even talked about it. I can't remember inside one of my episodes, but I basically pulled out my bed that I hadn't pulled out in, you know, a long time. Alright, I don't even want to acknowledge how long it was, but I moved it away from the wall and I went in there with a hoover, and oh my god, it was like fucking. I felt like there's another catfish. Dang. Interesting. I felt like I was a hobbit battling through Middle-earth trying to get some of the dust off the carpet, even with the hoover. It was a nightmare. But anyways, got that stuff cleaned out, and then I had another go at it today because I felt like actually under my bed was just as bad, and I was still congested when I was waking up in the morning and stuff like that as well. So I actually realised how much dust was. What is going on? Maybe it's the time of day. The fact that we're now suddenly getting a ton of catfish, because we are actually heading into the evening. So maybe it's just like, I don't know. Maybe there's a daytime factor here, guys. There's probably somebody who's actually researched a lot of this fucking info and like put it in a spreadsheet. But for the most part, obviously you bastards are hungry again. Alright, so for the most part, I took my wardrobe out from the wall also today, and also my bed again, and then I hoovered again, and I cleaned out all of the dust. So yeah, I would have thought that I'd be a bit better when I came to recording and all that jazz, but yeah, apparently I'm still a fucking wheezy bastard. More catfish. There's definitely something going on there. There's a factor inside the game that's changed, and I don't know quite what it is, but again, it just kind of shows you how much effort is put into these games, and how many, like, you know, the fact that, I don't know, it could be the time of day, it could be the day of the week, it could be the lure that we're using, I'm not entirely sure, but the fact that all these like catfish have started appearing makes me think that I don't know, there's probably like an algorithm built into the game that changes the rate at which the fish appear, which is maybe why we've not seen any snakeheads, to be fair. Maybe it's actually impossible at this particular day, at this particular time. 5 catfish again. That's not a coincidence, because we were fishing here for ages and we never saw any of these. So I don't know what's affecting this, but there you have it. Digimon World Next Order, folks. If you are coming here, guys, and it looks like the Digisnakeheads are not being good to you, as is happening to us right now, then maybe you can come back at another time. Maybe if you come back and sleep on it. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do, because I really did just plan to come down here, catch you in 5 minutes and be on our bike, but apparently it's not happening, so yeah. I'm unsure, but I was really hoping that we would just grab it. I don't know. What I'll do, guys, is how long we've been going for at this point. Wow, a lot longer than I thought. Oopsie. Alright, what I'm going to do, guys, is because I want to keep this all one episode, I'm actually going to do a time skip, which is, I feel like it's cheating in a way, but I'm going to try and keep the footage. I'll be able to show you the moment where we cast the fish out, catch the fish, and then hopefully you guys will see me doing it with the Frogler, because I don't want to change anything that I don't want to change any of our factors right now. We're doing an experiment. I remember science in high school, you have to keep your controls real in order to prove a point. Alright, that's what we're going to do right now. So, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to leave you, and then hopefully in just a minute, we're going to come back. Hopefully it'll be in the same game, the same day in-game Digitime. And yeah, I'm going to bring you back some Digi Snake Kids, hopefully in just a second. So, back in a little more. Alright guys, welcome back. Actually, there was like a 2-minute break inside the actual where I left you guys, and just now it's still the same day inside the game, in which we haven't passed too much time at all. I also brightened my webcam a little bit as well in between the last clip, so if you noticed that, I don't know, colours looked a bit lackluster. Hopefully we're a little bit more vibrant right now. But anyways, here is our 2 snakeheads. You can get them here, it's just a case of being patient. We actually got 2 in a row, which is exactly how many you need for our boy Mega Jijimon. So there you have it. Hopefully that proves gives you guys enough proof. So for the most part, we are going to head back and we're going to actually hand over our Digituna. We did the snakeheads earlier, so again, that was just for if you guys need a memory jog or whatever. We're just doing that for the sake of showing you guys that it is actually possible, and I'm not talking out my ass. So let's do it. Let's finish our last little fishing quest. Again, there's nothing massive that you get for doing this, guys. All that it does is basically just I'll let the game speak for itself. But here's Mega Jijimon in case you guys are interested. Bring me 2 tuna. If you do that, you'll be able to fish for the tuna and fish in hole 4. And here we go. We hand them over, and boom, yada. You can now fish in hole 4. So if you talk to him again after you've done this, basically he's just going to give you a reminder and say that there's nothing else you can do for him. So here we go. Now go and join the kingly sport of fishing. So now, folks, that just means that if at any point, let's say you're struggling through a Next Order, right? We kind of power farmed it in our own series, right? We kind of blasted through it, and yeah, we just did a lot. We did a lot of work in quite a short amount of time. But if you're playing this game over like months and months, and you're kind of enjoying playing through it slowly, and grinding your way to stuff, and you're upgrading the fishing bank slowly, and you're using that to help you, then you can actually make a sick bit of money by grinding those. And so yeah, something you can do once you obviously do all this stuff for all your friends inside the fishing area. Then they're going to basically just make your fishing experience a lot more easier, and then you can basically just make a lot of money. So thought I'd come in here really quickly, guys, just to show you a couple of things. This is basically where our position is at. I would like to upgrade the square, but we need holy water, which is going to take, we're going to need a lot more holy water in order to do that. We could probably jump into one of the district paths. I might even do that off screen while I'm waiting, and maybe bash that on for you guys. But then also on top of that, we also have our museum, which only needs 22 emeralds. I know that sounds like an absolute truckload, but when we were actually doing runs on stream, there was a time where we went in to harvest one of the resource points. We actually got 8 emeralds from one harvest, so you can actually kind of farm those in bulk. I think what I'm going to do, guys, is we're going to nip along. Let's go along to the resource, or rather the, I nearly said the research district, but obviously this is a business district. I'm going to feed the guys on queue, because just like that, they're ready to eat some snackaroons. So I'm going to basically just feed them all the snacks that they are due. We're going to pop outside, and we are going to head on our way up towards... Okay, we've got an upgrade on as well, by the way. I think this is the advanced item shop. This is something we put on at the end of the live stream, and it's now broken because this is the first time in 24 hours where it's ready to go. So our city's actually looking pretty gallus at this point. There's a lot of flower pots along. I always mention those, but I think every time you upgrade this, it adds more. I don't know if I'm just making that up in my brain, but we basically panned on the advanced item shop upgrade just for the sake of doing it. It was just something we could do. I didn't actually mean to come this way. Fuck. We're going to go and sell all of our fish that we just collected, because now that we've done all of that jazz, we actually don't have too much. But hopefully this is a good way for you guys to see that, like, how much kind of fucking money you can make from doing this. So if you're at all interested right now, before we sell all of our stuff, we have 634,000. We'll just keep that number as like we don't have to worry about the little ones, because obviously this number's going to change in just a minute when we sell all this. But check this out, guys. If you come in here, we could keep the snakeheads. I guess we'll keep those, but they sell for 4 grand. All right. The Peruses, 2 grand. What else have we got here? Digicatfish is quite expensive as well, 1500. I was hoping I could show you the true value of the tuners, the Digi-tuners, because they fell for quite a lot, but regardless, I'll keep the snakeheads for whatever reason. I'll sell all the catfish, because I don't think we're going to use it. We probably need it for certain ingredients and recipes, but at this point, we're not going to care. So 634 is our number. Let's sell all this jazz. I'm actually not buying this like an absolute dummy, am I? Just max out on all this black trout, so we get a lot for that shit. I thought if I went the other way, we'd sell it like twice as fast, so I'm kind of doing this a bit slow, but regardless. Digi-Crukins, 28. Digi-Carps, 78 of these bad boys, so boom. And then the Digi-Catfish we could sell as well. We just went from 6, what number was before, up to 771, so that was just about 100 grand. In fact, it was more than that, wasn't it? Because we were like 6.3 something. So it was like about 140 grand we just made. And obviously everything we filmed has been in like the course of 40 minutes. So you can actually make quite a decent amount of money if you're so inclined to do that. It's just a bit of an example, if you like, for you guys. Maybe you don't give a fuck. Alright, but regardless, you can make a lot of money fishing in this game. So what my game plan is now, folks, is to probably... I'll show you guys what I was kind of doing on stream, just for those of you that are bothered. I actually don't know if we're going to make... We're 56 minutes deep at this point, and I don't think we're going to make it 2 episodes, guys. But what I'm basically going to do with the rest of our time here, before it is time for the Boutmon rematch, I'm going to stick these guys on HP training, and I'm going to pass as much time as possible. So I'm not caring too much about their stats or anything. You don't get too much from training in the gym anyway. But what would happen is we're gonna broach midnight here, and then I'm going to put these guys to sleep. We wake up in the morning, and then it's like a case of rinsing and repeating. So if I go down to Jijimon's house just to put them to sleep, I like they're all buddies. I like that. Alright, nice. I made a point when we were streaming the fact that, you know, all through your Digi careers you want your Digimon to interact like that and do things perfectly, and you never get it, and then when they're max stats, max bond, etc., they're the most chummy bastards in the planet. But anyways, no complaints, guys, no complaints. Put these dudes to sleep, we wake them up in the morning, and I'm hoping one of these days, I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, but you never know, we spent some time fishing. I'm hoping that we get a Digimail. So we didn't get it today, but I think it actually, what is it right now? It's Tuesday. I think we get our Digimail on Friday, okay? Which is still, like, you know, obviously a few days away. So what I'm going to do is probably just keep doing a rinse and repeat cycle, folks. Take these guys along to our, we're going to take these guys along to our restaurant every single day. I'm not going to make you sit through it, but I'll feed up in the restaurant, train in the gym, pass the days, keep them alive by feeding them this year the nice mushroom pasta, which is also going to bang up our MP stat as well. It's just really, really invigorating gameplay, in all honesty, and you guys don't need to see it. But for the most part, that's what I'm going to be doing off screen. You won't be missing anything. I might do some dimension runs to pass some time, although in saying that, I don't think time passes when you're inside the district dimension, so maybe that's a null and void strategy. But regardless, I keep baiting you guys with telling you we're going to do stuff, and then the episode takes a lot longer than it does, so I apologise, guys, but we're coming up on quite a lot of time, so I'm going to wrap things up here. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed all of the fishing shenanigans and the chit chats, then GG's. I hope you guys had a nice time. I actually had a really pleasant time. I think the fishing in this game is super chill, so even if a fraction of you guys watching saw right to this point, then GG's. Thanks for watching. I'm going to bring you guys the Boutmon fight ASAP. Hopefully I'll maybe get some other resources, and I'll see you guys very soon. Take care, guys, and I will see you see you guys soon. Bye bye.